Good evening, everybody. Just want to show here why I am still on board for a snowfall potential across parts of Pennsylvania down into West Virginia, Virginia, and out towards this area here, and possibly up the coast as well. And why I'm not buying the solution that the models are having, some of them of just completely wimping it out and just a weak wave coming out across. First of all, this has been a date that's kind of been eyed up, talked about now for over a week in the back chats with some other forecasters I've had. We've been eyeing this up for about 10 days to 2 weeks as far as a good potential for a storm. And a couple of model runs are not going to deter that idea when I think it's still very much on the table. Now this is starting at 15Z on Friday, 69 hours GFS right here. I'd like you to notice here's where the Northern Branch feature is, little shortwave back here as well. Looking at the NAM at the same time, it's a little bit further north and west with that feature. A little more progressive on the GFS, but the GFS is a progressive model, so that would be expected. It tends to shoot things out a little faster, but here's what I'm concerned about going forward. We'll go through the GFS here, and I want you to watch this piece of energy here and what happens up here. First of all, notice that this piece back here, this starts shooting out, and this kind of gets left behind. And watch what's going to happen by the time we get to 84 hours, and I'll just take it to 84 because that's as far as the NAM goes. You have this piece of energy hanging back here. This is shot all the way out here, and it's gotten all sheared out from, about 75, 80 miles off the Atlantic coast all the way back to the Great Lakes. The energy is now sheared out from what we started with back here at 69 hours. We had a pretty decent shortwave coming in, another one starting to feed into it that you would think would maybe possibly cause it to dig a little bit. And but it just the one piece gets held back, the other piece gets sheared out, and you're left with just a wide base trough here across the area. NAM does pretty much the same thing, a little bit different idea. Like I said, it's a little slower back here. Here's the other shortwave back up here, and go forward, and it does shoot the energy out a little bit, but then it just kind of splits it. So now we have a shortwave here, little shortwave back here, and a little shortwave back here. Result is pretty much the same. You have this just very broad trough with a weak flow, and storm is going to shoot out that way if that were the case. But here's the problems. Let's take a look at the UK Met. The Canadian, sorry, this is the Canadian. Now, of course, there is no 18Z Canadian, so the times are a little bit different here. 84 hours with the NAM, and the GFS is 6Z Saturday. With the Canadian, it's 0Z Saturday. But look at the difference here. Look at how wide and broad these troughs are here on the GFS and this is the GFS here, and this is the NAM. Very broad. Here, though, the energy does not get shot out as fast. It doesn't shear it, and you have a much more defined trough back here with a flow that's now coming from southwest to northeast instead of basically west to east on these other models. So to me, this makes more sense, and here's why. And again, it's the west that I think is the key. And you can see here on the GFS, this ridge out here is kind of broad and flat. Here on the NAM, it's really broad and flat. And here in the Canadian, it's a little bit more defined out here. And the reason I'm thinking that something like this is going to be more reasonable is here. Look, here's the energy coming into the West Coast, digging in. And again, look, it's all sheared out here. This is the GFS. Here's the NAM. It's a little bit better here. But I think with this energy coming in, that's going to help to build this ridge. This ridge shouldn't be flattening out. It should be building out there, and it's flattening. And I don't see that being the case. I think with this trough digging in, this ridge will build, and this trough, instead of getting all sheared out, is going to be digging more, much like the Canadian is showing here. So that's the idea that I've been going with. Now I did a video on, I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, outlining this type of scenario, and I've seen Nothing other than the models showing a low pressure system just weakly going off the coast, which, like I said, that's not going to deter my idea as long as the idea is still on the table. And I think as long as this energy is going to dig into the west, I think it's going to build this ridge. And I don't think this is going to get sheared out like these other models are saying. So I do think we are going to see a low pressure system. I've been on this track since last week. I think we're going to see a low that's going to come just south. Well, one of two scenarios, excuse me, is likely. We're going to see either a low that comes out and rides just south of the Mason-Dixon line, comes out off the Delmarva, intensifies, and then starts moving northeastward. Or we're going to see a low that comes in and dies somewhere in southern West Virginia, and we're going to get a Miller B type of situation. That's a possibility because of the blocking from the polar vortex. It just may squash this storm and force energy to reemerge off the coast. I can't argue against that. I don't want to see that happen because we won't have a good snow here in State College when that type of situation arises, but it is certainly a possibility. But one of those two. But I am not seeing just a weak open wave just harmlessly going off the coast with snow showers. I think we are going to see decent snows. Now, I'm not talking about, I think the European was way overdone last night. So, I don't think we want to be talking about 12 to 18-inch snows across the, no, that's not, I'm talking about, 3 to 6, maybe 4 to 8 snows, in a general area like this. Maybe somewhere within, 50 miles or 100 miles of a line, like something like this is what I'm thinking. So, we'll see how things play out over the next couple of days as far as the models go, if they start catching on to that. If the Canadian, the UK Met has a decent solution as well, so we'll have to see how that plays out. So, but anyway, that is what I am thinking with the system right now. I have not changed my thoughts on it. I think we are going to see things start coming around to a better solution. So, just wanted to put that out there. Hope you all have a great night. Take care. Bye.